Okay, so hello future ECEs. For this discussion video, we will have to continue our topics on different types of natural resources. And our focus now is on the land resources. So considering that we have already discussed different types of pollution, so this discussion video will cover all the types of or all of the uses of land para sa aton. At the same time, paano natin sila gaka-harm ang mga land resources natin. When we talk or when we mention about land resources, this one provides food, fiber, wood, medicine, and other biological needs. Take note that even yung aton nga mga forest resources is dependent sa aton land resources. We are aware that soil is a mixture of inorganic materials, whether it be rocks and minerals, and even mga organic. Inorganic, I mean, such as rocks and minerals, and organic materials, such as dead animals and plants. Topsoil is classified as our renewable resources. Okay, so kabalo kita nga very essential kag useful katama ang land resources. Why? Because land resources or land provides food, wood, minerals, etc. for us. So kabalo ta na. Especially darigid sa aton sa Philippines wherein we are mostly dependent sa agriculture. Kay land provides food para sa aton. Wood. Siyempre, even the industrialization or modernization na matabo dependent pa na sila Japan sa land resources. Land nurtures the plants and animals that provide our food and shelter. So, tanan ng mga may-ara sa aton halos, we are dependent on land resources because bisan hindi man directly nga ginakuha siya naton sa resources or sa land resources, ang mga ginagamit naton nga for para sa shelter naton halin siya sa plants which is ang plant, dependent man sila Japan sa land resources. So, though ano na siya, though ara na siya sa pinaka main nga nga factor of or you nga may ara help para sa aton. Land is used as your watershed or reservoir. Syempre, so hambal naton gani tanya ang naga-hold sang water sa lalom. Land also acts as your dustbin for most of the wastes created by the modern society. So kabalutan na, sila na ang gapang gakwa sang tanan ng mga ano naton, mga dust or mga wastes naton. Sa ila tanan gatipon. Land is used for construction of buildings and industries. So this is what I am talking kagina. Nga even for the industrialization or the mga modern nga mga development. So still dependent man Japan on the land resources. However, hindi naton manigar, hindi naton ma-neglect nga may ara sing kakatabo nga land degradation. Or this is the process of degradation of the soil or loss of fertility sang aton nga soil. So land degradation. So ano ang mga epekto sini if we continue to have land degradation? Number one, the soil texture and the soil structure are deteriorated. Siyempre, hambal naton sa aton nga definition of your land degradation, ga-degrade ang or gadula ang totally ang fertility of the soil. So, wala na sa mga sang mga ang mga nutrients nga kinanglanon ng mga plants in order to grow healthy kag mangin productive. So gakadula na. So increase in water logging, so salinity and alkalinity and acidity problems. So apektado man even ang water. So because of the degradation sang quality of land natin or quality of the soil. So kung ma-degrade ang soil, ma-degrade man ang quality of water, syempre gaagi man sila Japon or hambal naton gani ga-hold sila sang water. So affected ang salinity, alkalinity, and acidity of water. Another one is loss of economic, social, and uh, biodiversity. Okay, so syempre, kung maguba ang quality sang land, affected ang economy in terms of in the field of agriculture. Or for example, kalain da ang duta, um, nang hindi siya be good for development. So, affected man ta Japon, hindi man Japon mag okay for the development ang specific nga area. So, economic nga consideration ginalantaw man dali na. Eh, ano ang possible causes of land degradation? So, when we talk about land degradation, number one, population. Siyempre, kung damo-damo na sang taho in a certain area, siyempre ma-degrade ang land because of the overpopulation. Damo-damo ng taho, damo-damo sang pwede magamit sang duta. Damo nga possibility kung any type of use ang pwede himuon because of the overpopulation, gadako ang demand, gadamo ang needs. Therefore, pwedeng damo man sang pollution, soil pollution nga matabo. And at the same time, overly exploited ang duta. So because of that. So may overexploitation nga matabo. Next, urbanization. So urbanization leads to deforestation and reduces the land. Okay, so syempre, because of syempre sa mga gusto naton nga mangin highly urbanized city, highly urbanized area, or urbanized ang isa ka lugar, usually ka-affected ang mga forest. So this causes ang ginatawag natin yung deforestation. And with this, kakaapektuhan ang amount of land, syempre magamay siya nga use for forest or for farming manda. So magamay siya. And thus, pwede man maapektuhan dayon kung urbanized na ang area, ang quality of land. Syempre, damo taho, damo possible pollution, and another one is, syempre, exploited ang lugar. Next, we have fertilizers and pesticides. So again, so because of uh, sang kadamo sang advancement, kadamo man ang technology nga ginagamit naton, especially in the field of agriculture man. And we have fertilizers and pesticides nga use ga increase man. So the increased application of fertilizers and pesticides leads to pollution sa land kag water, syempre contributing to your soil degradation. So na-discuss na natin last time. We have also the damage of the topsoil. Increase in the food production generally leads to damage to topsoil through nutrient depletion. Siyempre, kung sige-sige siya gamit ang duta for the production of food, maano siya, maubos na da ang nutrients nga ara sa nga area. So, sa sina nga land area. So, kaka-damage ang quality of your soil sa sina nga lugar. So, next one, syempre, waterlogging, soil erosion, salination, contamination of soil with industrial waste all cause land degradation. So take note, soil erosion, syempre eroded, mag-erode ng area. So salinity, contamination. So usually, this one is gakatabo siya in the area nga may mga industries. So usually affected ang land or soil fertility and soil quality and sa sinang mga area. So water logging, soil erosion, salination, contamination of soil. Siyempre, na-mention na din natin ang soil erosion. So maghambal sa soil erosion, it is the process of removal of superficial layer of the soil from one place to another. So isa man siya sa nagka-contribute gani sa aton nga nga soil degradation. Okay, so since we talk about soil erosion, so siyempre ano ang manging epekto sa soil erosion? So harmful effects of soil erosions include soil fertility is lost because of the loss of topsoil layer, loss of its ability to hold water and sediment. Sediment runoff can pollute water and kill aquatic life. So siyempre, okay, so kung lang tawon naton, kung mag-run off na or mag-soil erosion man gid, kakadula ang or ma-wash off ang pinaka-top nga layer or topsoil layers naton. That's why ang ina dapat nga topsoil layer ara na dapat ang mga nutrients nga kinahanglanon naton, especially or kinahanglanon sa mga plants for a productivity nila. Pero since kung ma-run off na siya or ma-wash off na siya, that means hindi na wala na da sang enough nga nga nutrients, may depletion na sang nutrients sina nga area. That's why hindi na amo na ka-fertile ang duta compared before. And another one is, since hindi na enough ang duta dara, there is a probability of the maldulaan siya ability to hold water. Okay? Hindi na mo na ka-strong ang pag-hold niya sa tubig. So at the same time, sediments. And then that's why masigisige na ang soil erosion. And syempre, kung sige-sige ang soil erosion, ang mga sediments niya na or ang mga ga-run-off ng mga sediments, pwede maka-cause pollution sa tubig. So, soil pollution. At the same time, ang di na makadtoyhan ang mga gadala nga mga sediments. Syempre, makadto na sila sa aquatic area or sa aton nga water area. Therefore, pwede nga matambak siya somewhere sa aton nga mga corals nga pwede makaapekto sa aquatic life or even pwede makaapekto or makapatay sa mga gakabuhi nga mga components sa aton nga aquatic ecosystem. Next, syempre may ara kita different types of soil erosion. Una-una is your normal lang nga erosion. Okay, so if we talk about normal erosion, this is the gradual removal of topsoil by the natural process. The rate of erosion is slower. Okay, syempre, natural process. Ano lang siya, hinay lang nga process of removal sang topsoil naton. We have another type which is accelerated. By the name itself, accelerated erosion. Therefore, may nag-trigger for this type of erosion. Siyempre, caused by man-made activities. The rate of erosion is much faster than the rate of the formation of soil. Okay, so probably kung ano man daang ginahimo nga mga man-made activities, whether it be mining or quarrying, so tanan-tanan na. This contributes into your accelerated erosion. Okay? So, okay, so padayunon ta na accelerated erosion by this topic on your man-induced landslides. So we have man-induced landslides. Various anthropogenic activities like hydroelectric projects, large dams, reservoir, construction of roads and railway lines, construction of buildings, minings, etc. are responsible for clearing of large forested areas. Okay, so this one, amo ni ang kabilugan nga perspective of your man-induced nga landslide because of the advancement man siya pa. So, because of the gusto natin matabo nga development. Okay, whether it be ma-create kita dams, dagko nga mga projects, roads, railways, buildings, minings, tanan-tanan na maapektuhan ang forested areas which holds some water nga pwede makakontribute if ever pwede makakontribute into landslides. Okay, so let's have this picture. Kung may natabo somewhere sa India. Earlier, there were few reports of landslide between Rishikesh and Biasi and Badrinath highway area sa India ni siya. But after the highway was constructed, 15 landslide occurred in a single year. Okay, so take note, because this one, kalabanan, ginaubra naton ang dalan, passing through mountains or passing through sa mga forested areas. Nga gakapektuhan naton dapat ang mga tanom or ang mga trees nga dapat ma-hold dapat sang duta sa sinanga area. And another one is usually ginaguba pagid naton ang natural balang balance sang ecosystem sa sinanga area or balance sang lugar. That's why dakdako ang possibility nga nga maka-create kita sang landslide. Kung nakakita ninyo, usually ang mga dalan nga ginaobra is ginakutkutan nila ang sa higad sang mga mountains wherein ginapabili na ang somewhere sa kilid nga part. So, ang tendency is, okay, so if you have dalan diri, ari di mga mountain somewhere diri nga part, so that is, ang matabo is, there is a tendency nga ma-landslide ni because yun kutkutan mo diri sa dalan. So that will contribute yung possibility of having a landslide. Okay, during the construction of roads, so mining activities and etc., huge portions of fragile mountainous areas are cut or destroyed by dynamite and thrown into adjacent valleys and streams. Okay, usually, kung nantungo naton gani, there are certain projects nga may mga tunnels kita. Yes, it is good because we are considering hindi natin maguba ang top area. But still, we have also to consider naging kukutan siya natin sa dalom. So there is a tendency na pwede man to Japan makakontribute sa mga landslides. So during the construction, syempre, ang iban para mapadali, gina-cut nila ang para mas ginakat nila ang mountainous area and para mas mapadasig ang pag-ubra, ginahabuyan nila dynamite or para maghumok or any method na pwede nila himuon which could contribute sa landslide. Okay, these land masses weaken these already fragile mountain slopes and lead to landslide. They also increase the turbidity of your various nearby streams, thereby reducing their productivity. So grabe no ang impact sang gusto naton nga change o gusto naton nga progress into the uh, environment naton. Okay, so cause of soil erosion. So water affects soil erosion in the form of rain, runoff, rapid flow, and wave action. Siyempre. So, magkabang sa soil erosion, okay lang na siya kung dire-diretso lang. So, nga pag flow, pero usually, may upod yun siya tungod sa ulan, tungod may ara nga may ara sang nga naghumok bala ang isa ka area because of the presence of water. Okay, so we have here, sa ginatawag natin nga sheet erosion. When there is a uniform removal of thin layer of soil from a large surface area, it is called sheet erosion. So, uniform. Dugin ko mo sa babaw ng area. That is sheet erosion. Real erosion. When there is a rainfall and rapidly running water produces finger-shaped grooves or rills over the area, it is called the real erosion. Okay, so finger-shaped grooves or rills over the area. So makita nyo man ang daw groove niya sa mga duta. Gully erosion. When the rainfall is very heavy, deeper cavities or gullies are formed which may be U or V-shaped. So dagko na ni siya magamba ka gali nga erosion. Slip erosion. This occurs due to the heavy rainfall on slopes of hills and mountains. So slip. Daw arang nag-ano lang siya, daw naggulpi-gulpi nga move bala ang kabilugan gid nga area, slip. So for example, kabilugan nga mountain, ma-move ni bilang sa babaw gid nga area. Stream bank erosion. During the rainy season, when fast-running streams take a turn in some other direction, they cut the soil and make caves in the bank. Sorry. So kung sa mga water areas ni, pwede sila makadala bala sa mga duta sa sinanga area, causing erosion. Another nga pwede makaproduce at pwede makakause ng erosion is wind. Wind is important climatic agent who carry away the fine particles of soil and create soil erosion. Okay, so we have another term that yung pwede i-consider. We have saltation or saltation. This occurs under the influence of direct pressure of stormy winds and the soil particles of 1 to 3.5 mm diameter move up in vertical direction. Kasama na, soil particles. We have suspension. Here, fine soil particles, which are suspended in the air, are kicked up and taken up to distant places. So, hangin na sila tanan. We have also surface creep. Here, the large particles creep over the soil surface along with the wind. So, kung sa dalom lang siya, we have, nag-move lang siya because ng hangin. That is surface creep. Okay, another nga pwede makakontribute sa soil erosion are the biotic nga mga agents. Overgrazing, mining, deforestation are the major biotic agents causing soil erosion. Deforestation, without reforestation, overgrazing by cattle, surface mining without land reclamation, irrigation techniques that lead to salt buildup, waterlogged soil make the topsoil vulnerable to erosion. Okay, so siyempre kung damo-damo nasang mga gina-perform ang mga activities sa specific nga area pwede na maka-contribute into a soil erosion. Kalabanan or ang dako-dako nga percentage is the overgrazing or damo-damo nga for example nga mga cattle sa ka-area, it will lead to a soil erosion. Deforestation man, so pwede contribute into your soil erosion. Usually, landslide causes soil erosion. So take note, halain man na siya ang landslide with your soil erosion. So landslides. Siyempre eroded ang duta during landslide. We have also construction of dams. So buildings, roads removes the protective vegetal cover and leads to soil erosion. Okay, so ano ang pwede naton himuon ah, para makontrol naton or makonserve naton ang soil? Makontrol naton ang soil erosion, makonserve naton ang soil. Number one is conservational till farming or no-till farming. So in tradition method, the land is plowed and the soil is broken up and leveled to make a planting surface. This disturbs the soil and makes it susceptible to erosion. However, no-till farming causes minimum disturbance to the topsoil. Here, the tilling machines make slits in the unplowed soil. So and inject seeds, fertilizers, and waters in the slit. So the seed germinates and the crop grows. So wala siya gina-flatten, wala siya gina-level ang duta, kundi gina-maintain lang Japon kung ano ang iyang original structure. Contour farming. It involves planting crops in rows across the contour or gently sloped land. Each row acts as a small dam to hold soil and slow water runoff. Okay, so parehas man na sa Japon. This one is contour farming. Ang kinalain lang sini is that may ara ka ni machine nga daw ginas ang sang conservational. Okay, so wala siya wala ni siya ginaarado kundi may ara ka lang ginabutang. So kung sa aton di daw mga wala ginaarado, for example ginaano lang ginatama or may mga ginagamit lang nga magtanom ka bala hindi pag-araduhon kay para hindi maapektuhan ang structure. Next one is terracing. So, sa mga terrace, so rice terraces. It involves conversion of steep slopes into a broad terraces, which contain cross the contour. This retains water for crops and reduces soil erosion by controlling runoff. So, kabalo na ka muna terracing. So we have alley cropping or agroforestry. It involves planting crops in strips or alleys between rows of trees or shrubs that can provide fruits and fuel wood. Okay, so mayara kapag in between ng mga ginatanom. Even when the crop is harvested, the soil will not be eroded because trees and shrubs still remains in the soil and holds the soil particle. This one. So mayara ginatanong mo siya in between. May para may gahold Japon sang duta. Okay, so windbreaks or belts or shelter belts. The trees are planted in long rows along the boundary of cultivated lands, which block the wind and reduce soil erosion. Windbreaks helps in retaining soil moisture, supply of some wood for fuel, and provide habitats for birds. Okay, so amo ni no? So, ginatanom naton ang trees and long rows along the boundary of cultivated lands para ma-block naton ang wind kag ma-reduce naton ang soil erosion. So, ginatamnan dire. Okay? Para i-block ang possible nga hangin dire. Kag pwede naton ma-reduce ang soil erosion. Okay, so another diri nga term no, we have to be aware is desertification. So desertification, progressive destruction or degradation of arid or semi-arid land to desert. Desertification leads to the conversion of rangelands or irrigated croplands to desert. So desertification is characterized by your devegetation, depletion of groundwater, salination, and soil erosion. Okay, so usually, kung ginapabayaan ng isa ka area, mangin deserted area na siya. Okay, devegetation, that means wala na siya. Hindi na siya ah, wala na sang tanom sa sinanga area. Okay, desertification. The harmful effect of desertification includes so around 80% of the productive land in the arid and semi-regions are converted into desert. Around 600 million people are threatened by desertification. Okay, ano ang rason of your desertification? Number one, we have your deforestation. The process, so aware na taniya, deforestation is the process of denuding and degrading the forest land initiates a desert. If there is no vegetation to hold back the rain waters, soil cannot soak and groundwater level do not increase. So we have this one. So um, may kung nadula na ang presence of trees sa specific nga area, so wala na sang may mahold sang rainwater, sang soil. So ang probability is amat-amat na siya mangin deserted ang area. Okay? Pwede siya because of wala na sang may gahold, pwede may matabo nga soil erosion, madula ang fertility of soil sa sinang area. Next one is overgrazing. Okay, overgrazing. The increase in cattle population heavily grazes the grassland or forest, and as a result, denudes the land area. The denuded land becomes dry, loose, and more prone to soil erosion and leads to desert. So, amo ni no, na ubos-ubos na tanan yung mga tanom dara. And at the same time, affected na ang quality of land because of damo-damo ng mga cattle production or cattle population. So, it will lead to desert sa ng mga deserted ang area. Another one is water management. So, water management, overutilization of groundwater, particularly in the coastal region, is resulting in a saline water intrusion into aquifers, which is unfit for irrigation. Okay, so sala nga management of your of water. So, pwede siya makakontribute into sa desertification. Okay? Pwede nga maging deserted ang area. So, pwede maapektuhan ang land quality, ang salinity of water. Nga pwede makapatay sa possible ng mga kakabuhi dara nga mga plants, thus making it deserted. Next, you have mining and quarrying. These activities are also responsible for the loss of vegetal cover and denudation of your extended land area, leading to desertification. Una-una is, during the process of your mining and quarrying, probably ang mga powdered or ang mga gagmay-gagmay nga particles makaapekto or pwedeng nga makakos sang pagkapatay sa mga tanom. Pwede man nga makakontribute siya into the lain nga nutrients nga pwede maka-reduce sang fertility sang soil area or land area and thus contributing sa desertification process. Next one, we have climate change. Pwede maka-contribute ang climate change into desertification. Formation of deserts may also take place due to climate change. Example, failure of monsoon or permi-permi nga El Nino, permi-permi nga init. So, pwede siya maka-contribute into the desertification. Another one is pollution. Excessive nga use of fertilizers and pesticides and disposal of toxic water into the land also um, into the land also leads to your desertification. So, syempre, affected ang quality of soil dere because of your pollution. Okay, so kagina ginmention naton ang landslide. So landslide, aware ta nga kaka-experience na di sa Philippines. When we talk about landslides, they are the downward and the outward movement of the slope composed of earth materials such as rock, soil, artificial fields. Other name of landslide are rock slide, debris slide, slump, earth flow, soil creep. So that is our the terms na ginagamit naton for landslides. So man-induced landslides. So during the construction, syempre sang roads, mining activities, huge portion of your fragile mountainous areas are cut and thrown into adjacent areas and streams. These land masses weaken the already fragile mountain slopes and lead to landslide called man-induced landslides. So, na-discuss na nakagina, na-mention ta na. Ano ang possible nga reasons ini? Number one is, remove natin ang vegetation in the area. So, in this sloppy area, it creates soil erosion which leads to landslide. So, underground mining, probably, may natabo nga mining. So, transport, due to the movement of buses, trains in the unstoppable sloppy nga region, so, or sloping region, it causes landslide. Transport. Addition of weight, so, bugat. So, construction on the slope area leads to landslide. So, construction nga matabo in a sloping area, pwede siya maka-add sa weight, thus increasing the probability of landslide. Groundwater level. Overexploitation of groundwater also leads to landslide. So, basta may imbalance ng matabo in a specific area, there is a probability of natural disaster. Harmful effect of landslide. So landslide increases the turbidity of your nearby streams, thereby reducing their productivity, destruction of communication links, loss of habitat and biodiversity, and loss of infrastructure and economic loss. So, syempre no, so kung nag-landslide, maapektuhan ang biodiversity, ang habitat, and thus contribute to the pwede nga maupod sa landslide or matupan sang duta ang infrastructure, ang thus makakontribute siya sa loss in your economy or loss in the possible nga mga ginaobra dira. So, or mga structures dira. So, amo na ang mangin effect sang landslide at the same time mga soil erosion. So, this is it, Danay, for now. We will have next nga discussion video, but thank you. Stay safe. God bless.